After recently finishing my first Deltarune playthrough, one thing I've noticed is that my comments constantly mention the name Gaster. I have no idea who this person is and what he has to do with either Deltarune or Undertale. So I decided to watch Misty Sparkle's video on him, and I never would have thought he was this important.
Recently, I saw a comment of someone genuinely not knowing why people were so obsessed with Undertale character Dr. W.D. Gaster in regards to Deltarune.
Oh, he's an
The
Undertale
replies were
character?
people either agreeing and not knowing the significance of the character on a meta level, neither canon nor fanon, or people being just as floored as I am that others are missing the obvious hints.
Okay, well, listen, I didn't need to be called out like that. I have no idea what's going on, okay?
Then I realized Undertale's popularity reached a peak around 2016. That was years ago now.
I'm
Dr.
so old.
Gaster, if you played Undertale in isolation right now, it's likely you will just never find out about any of this. You either need to be able to decompile the game, or you just need the internet.
Oh wait, there's actual, like, files? I always have so much respect for people who, like, deep dive the files. Like, how would you even get here? I played Undertale. I didn't explore everything. Like, what the hell is this guy? Isn't this the bird guy in Deltarune? The blue and yellow bird guy?
Or you just need the internet where other people can do that more easily and find out all about it there.
So true, that's why I'm reacting.
I knew who Dr. Gaster was before I even played the game.
How?
That's how big of a...
How? I didn't hear about him until literally like 2 weeks ago. I guess I was really disconnected from the Undertale fandom and lore, but sure.
He existed in the world of Undertale. Now he doesn't.
So he was real. He is real.
100% sure what he even looks like.
Oh,
so
okay, so he's real, but he's like a ghost. He's like Bigfoot. People think they've seen him, but they don't actually know if he's there.
There is a hidden character in Undertale named Dr. W.D. Gaster. He was Asgore's former royal scientist before Dr. Alphys.
Oh.
You can find out about him through hidden NPCs.
Is that how Alphys' name is pronounced? Alphys? Have I been pronouncing it wrong the entire time? Listen, this is not the situation where I pronounce Roxel instead of Rule. I do it because I want to piss people off, but I didn't know Alphys was pronounced like that.
That can rarely be seen during regular gameplay and can be manipulated into appearing through simple edits of easily accessible files, using an otherwise useless mechanic, the fun value. Fun value is a random number generated at the start of a playthrough, and depending on what number you get, many things will possibly occur. Here's a handy chart I found on the Undertale wiki.
Whoa, what is going on here? Are things in Undertale RNG? I thought the game was like a set story. The hell is Nightmare Mode? Clam Girl. I don't even know who that is.
Gray monochrome NPCs will tell you a story about how Dr. Gaster was a brilliant scientist who created the core in Hotland, but then fell into his creation. It can be inferred that the creation is the core, since it was mentioned shortly after the comment about him making it, but the Gaster followers' dialogue can be just vague enough to make me doubt literally anything they say. After he fell into his creation, Gaster seemed to have vanished, implied to have been erased from existence entirely. Probably
Jesus.
Even everyone's memory. He was said to be shattered across time and space.
Whoa.
The very hidden log known as entry number 17 can be found by easily...
Excuse me? Sorry, am I hallucinating? Are we seeing the same thing? Where does this say entry log number 17? What language is this? Hieroglyphs? I don't remember there being a cross in the hieroglyphs. Or a snowflake. Or skull and bones.
This room is labeled room_Gaster in the files of the game. The entry is written entirely in all caps Wingdings font. It can therefore be easily assumed that the
Oh, I see. Dude, I actually thought this was gibberish and I was losing my mind for a second, I'm not gonna lie.
WD stands for Wingdings. Thus can be assumed that Dr. Wingdings Gaster might also be a skeleton, considering the theme of naming skeletons after fonts, and them speaking their text boxes in those fonts. Reads what seems to be the middle of a conversation about an experiment. Entry number 17. Dark. Darker, yet darker.
Oh, Jesus.
The darkness keeps growing.
My God.
Shadows cutting deeper. Photon reading is negative. This next experiment seems very, very interesting.
Oh, Lord.
What do you two think?
A mad scientist. And he said, what do you two think? Does that mean he's talking to Sans and Papyrus? If we're following the skeleton theory? Otherwise, I have no idea. Are there other doctors other than Alphys? Because I don't think so, right?
Remember the phrases very, very interesting and darker yet darker. They are important for our purposes.
Remembering
Please
in my
also
mind
remember
palace.
this very distinct sound that plays while entry 17 is being read.
It actually hurts my ears. I don't want to remember that, first of all. So how do you get this? You have to manipulate the files? Or can you get this in the game normally somehow? Because there's no way.
There are also apparently battle stats for Gaster hidden in the files of the game.
He's the
Every
devil?
stat, defense, attack, and even the money payout upon defeat is just a series of 6s. If the fun value is at 66, either by way of pure 1 in 1,000 chance luck or by file editing, there is a 10% chance that you can find a gray door and waterfall that leads to a small room with this sprite.
Holy.
This sprite is called Mystery Man. Because of the
I mean, he kind of looks like a skeleton, right? He follows the kind of black and white theme as Sans and Papyrus. It's crazy to me how people figure this shit out. Like, did someone stumble upon it through luck and then someone else went through the files, or did they find it through the files first?
This sprite can easily be seen as resembling a distorted cartoon skeleton, perfectly in line with the somewhat unorthodox skull shapes of Papyrus and especially Sans.
That is what I said.
The distortion also lines up with being not whole, since Gaster was shattered across time and space. He has no nose, no legs, no visible arms, nothing that can even be interpreted as fingers.
That's fair.
And generally looks
I mean, it feels like this is his cloak and these are his hands, no? Hands up and he's dancing.
little melted. Him being melted and goopy is basically universally accepted fanon, but it's extremely possible in canon if he did in fact fall into the core, you know, the thing harvesting searing geothermal energy. Sans is implied to be somehow connected to Gaster. Alphys accidentally calls you when she's trying to order a pizza. Alphys is brought up a few times by Clam Girl is an NPC in Waterfall who talks about her neighbor's daughter, Susie. This now adds up in retrospect, but even more than that, when the Switch port came out, if you got Clam Girl by sheer dumb luck and talked to her...
Oh, okay, so she's a % chance. Is that why I don't remember her in the game at all? This is crazy. I didn't think anything in Undertale was RNG. This is very surprising to me.
After you beat the final boss, Azrael, she goes grayscale and says the time you will meet Susie is fast approaching. Deltarune Chapter 1 came out a little over a month later.
That's kind of sick, first of all. Second of all, I can just picture Toby sitting at his desk, rubbing his hands together, just thinking about all the theories that are going to come out, and either implementing some of them because he thinks, oh, you know what, that's a good idea, or he's a genius and he planned it all out beforehand and just sprinkled in these little things here or there just for fans to go crazy about. I think he could do both.
But they ask if they can talk to someone whose name starts with a G. You'd think Gaster, but hey, it could be Grillby or Gerson. It could be G Spamton. Oh my god.
True!
I don't think...
The G stands for God.
Something also notable, but doesn't tell us too much.
Oh god, I love this fight.
That the skulls Sans uses to shoot lasers when he megalovanias you are called Gaster blasters in the files. This does at least tell us that Sans has got to have something to do with Gaster. Sans is also seemingly good friends with Alphys, but no one really knew that. And they seem to have worked on a mysterious mystery machine together.
So does that mean that two people was Alphys and Sans instead of Sans and Papyrus? I mean, Sans is basically like the all-knowing, like, what do we call Sans? He's not a god, but he knows everything across dimensions. Like, he knows everything between time and space, no? Because he knows when you do genocide route, he knows when you do pacifist route, he knows when you do it several times. So, I mean, I guess it makes sense. It feels like him and Gaster are in very much the same realm of being.
There is a hidden sound room in Snowden.
Never knew that.
Activated by fun value that includes Gaster's theme. A simple, creepy melody. Once it is playing,
What's
it
the meat
cannot
factory?
be stopped.
What's the meat factory? Oh my god, it's Deltarune!
If you try to put the name Gaster at the beginning of either Undertale or Deltarune, the game immediately crashes the second you put in the last letter. You don't
that's
even hit
so
enter.
funny.
It just crashes.
If you name the fallen child of your vessel Gaster, it will take you back to the intro start. If you name yourself Gaster, Deltarune will close itself. So, I mean, this is definitely a thing, and Toby's definitely fucking with the fans. 100%. That's cool, though. Was Gaster mentioned at all in Deltarune? Like, probably, right? And I just didn't find anyone who talked about him?
What does any of that Undertale bullshit have to do with Deltarune?
That's what I'm asking!
Everything. This has everything to do with Deltarune.
Oh god,
you know
okay.
how Undertale characters feature prominently in Deltarune? I'm halfway convinced Gaster is actually a Deltarune character that somehow weaseled his way into Undertale. In
Oh, is that the god speaking to me? Gaster's the one saying all the bullshit when, like, in the beginning with the vessel, and he gave me the second chance to find the Roaring Knight, but he's not speaking wingdings. This doesn't seem possible. I guess alternate reality, sure. I feel happy because it seems like people are finally seeing Deltarune as something with its own identity and characters rather than only thinking about it in relation to Undertale. Well, I mean, I remember people telling me that they are alternate realities of each other, right? So, I mean, they are separate, but, like, I feel like it's hard to not associate them with each other, because, I mean, they are, just inherently.
It is its own game. Most of the main characters are unique to Deltarune, and it has its own separate story and world. But even if Deltarune is its own thing, its own universe where no plot points from Undertale ever carry over,
Are we sure about that?
Can't be divorced from Undertale.
True!
Undertale is context for things that happen in Deltarune. Whenever you download it anywhere, it always is sure to say it's a game for people who have finished Undertale.
It used to, but it doesn't because I had to go and mention it. I was literally going to say, I don't remember seeing this anywhere. I thought Deltarune was like its own experience.
A book so you don't forget the name of Hot's Fire Guy.
I don't remember who that is.
That's really obscure if you only finish Undertale once.
Oh.
Asriel has a
I did actually no, I finished Undertale multiple times. I played it way too long ago, bro. I don't know how anyone expects me to remember this shit.
Picture of a flower on his wall. The plots in the graveyard.
Wait, I didn't even notice the flower. Oh my god, how could I have never noticed this? This is so blatant for Asriel and Flowey, my god.
The graveyard are the Amalgamates.
Huh? I do remember these guys. They were like in Alphys's underground lab, or one of the underground labs, right, where they were all kind of fucked up. But okay, one thing I never understood about the graveyard is these three graves all have something to say. Except this grave. Every time I go to this grave, Susie has some shit to say. Or I don't know, every time I went to this grave, no name was actually said. Is this one special in some way? Or maybe I just missed the dialogue where it actually explains it.
First time we meet Deltarune Asgore directly mirrors when we meet him in Undertale. Spamton Neo is literally using Metaton Neo's body, and the song Power of Neo plays exactly how it was presented in Undertale within Spamton Neo's battle.
I didn't know that. No, because this is the fight where you're actually fighting normally as a secret boss. I think the Spamton I fought in the weird route had a different theme? I might be tripping balls. I'm not sure.
I think the desire is more to not think of Deltarune as just Undertale 2 or assuming it's the same universe. And
I'm guilty of that. I called it Undertale 2, sorry.
I'm not saying that Deltarune and Undertale are somehow secretly directly linked and the story is all going to come back around to Undertale. I don't want it to. I like Deltarune for being Deltarune. It is its own story.
I think, honestly, if Deltarune somehow wrapped back to Undertale, it would be bad writing. Like, I never once did I expect, like, the games to be so similar where, like, they would do a wraparound ending to it, because I think that'd just generally be bad storytelling.
I don't even necessarily think that the Gaster in Undertale is the Gaster in Deltarune, but I think it's reasonable to assume we can use the information from Undertale and apply it here.
But let's say because Gaster, because you mentioned that Gaster was scattered across time and space, right? If he's scattered across time and space, doesn't that mean it could be the same Gaster in Deltarune? If it's an alternate reality? Alternate reality counts as a different section of time and space, which means technically Gaster could be existing in both worlds at the same time, and in the normal Undertale he's speaking in wingdings, and in the alternate reality he gets to speak normally or some shit. I don't know. I feel like that's not a stretch, right?
The association with the number 6, the similar way his dialogue gets formatted are...
Oh, chapter 6 is gonna have some shit about Gaster. It's gotta be, right? It's gotta be. If we keep talking about the number 6, we gotta wait till chapter 6. Some crazy shit's gonna happen. I promise you. I promise you right now.
Gaster has an absolutely undeniable presence in Deltarune, more so than he ever had in Undertale.
Oh,
this actually predates
Tommy.
the game Deltarune itself. Deltarune.com has existed since, I believe, 2015,
What?
3 years before Chapter 1 came out.
It had a
and
website?
the year Undertale itself came out. On it was a dark image called him.png that, if Brighton would show the text in all caps wingding font reading, "This next experiment seems very, very interesting."
Oh my god.
Then it changed to another message in all caps wingdings describing the plot of Deltarune. 3 heroes appear to banish the angel's heaven.
Oh my god. What the fuck is the angel's heaven? I feel like banishing the angel's heaven has a negative connotation, no? Which makes it seem like we're doing a bad thing. I don't know. If we're saying that Gaster has an experiment, and the next experiment is Deltarune, that technically means that he is God. of that universe somehow, some way, right?
Because of how obviously Gaster is god of the Deltaverse, but
Okay, thank you. I'm not going crazy.
there's a file related to Gaster in Undertale called Hymn, and the song that plays in the intro of Chapter 1 is called Another Hymn. Another Gaster.
That's kind of sick.
2 of them. Then there's a series of surprise tweets on the Undertale Twitter on October 30th, 2018.
That's just because they got hacked. I don't know what to tell you.
I have been looking for you as well.
I don't appreciate how you're talking to me like this. I'm creeped out.
I have something I want to show you.
Please don't.
Something I think you will find very, very interesting.
Oh, the pixels! Oh, God!
I'll admit, when very, very interesting popped up in these tweets, I just about had a goddamn heart attack. Then Chapter 1 actually comes out. At its beginning, we have most likely the same ominous voice as was on Twitter narrating to us. I can't believe Twitter was actually useful for something.
It usually isn't. Delete Twitter. Please, for the love of God, delete Twitter. The less fucking users are on that goddamn website, the more healed this universe will be. Please delete Twitter.
I assume the reason it's not in Wingdings is because we need to be able to read it. It wouldn't be very...
Do you know how funny that shit would be if the game started in Wingdings? I think half the people who started playing Deltarune and that like never played Undertale or something would just see that and go, nope, I'm deleting the game. This is a virus.
Big shot of Gaster to make the seizure warning indecipherable. So if you want to be like a smartass and say, but he's not speaking in Wingdings, shut up.
Also, Toby would get sued to hell, bro. That would not be fun.
There is an actually very compelling theory involving the Japanese translation that might suggest that...
In the Japanese version, Gaster, or at least the person who presumed to be Gaster, speaks exclusively in kanji and katakana, a combination that is very odd. However, the mysterious second person speaks in kanji hiragana, which is, well, how you would normally write. However, it's worth noting that in Undertale and in the surface world portion of Deltarune, kanji is used very sparingly. The game is written mostly in hiragana and katakana alone, with a few simple kanji here and there. This person's normal use of kanji is actually a bit unusual in that respect. On its own, this difference seems similar to the English version. Not the only difference. In Japanese, Gaster uses the second-person pronoun anata. This is a formal pronoun, which is fitting for him, as he seems to be very polite, at least in his survey. However, when the second person says your name is, they use a very much more informal omae. That's an interesting detail to find out, first of all. Second of all, that's if Toby, once again, had planned that. That is so interesting that he looks into the specific language to convey that, like, confusing, oddish behavior. Is there any other language that can be deciphered for that as well? Where it would be a combination of two things to look weird? Is there any other translations of Undertale, actually, or Deltarune? Other than English and Japanese? I'm not sure.
Fallen child, default name Kara, whatever, from Undertale, who is our...
Damn, bitch, you live like this! This is my room, bro. This is MTV Cribs right here. Right here, we got the bed. Over here, we got the window. And that's it.
Chris, a teenager not unlike Chara. Of course, since there are so many similarities between the two characters, you could also assume that this might have been Chris themselves, but that's going into vague, unprovable theory territory. Also, I'm not saying that this is the same Chara. It's very possible that there is a separate Chara in Deltarune. However, I like to...
Tora will tell Chris about their dead twin sibling who died after eating grass. I can confirm in Chapter 3 that this did not happen. Theory disproven, done and dusted, we're good here.
Gaster has to babysit his boss's kid for all eternity. Anyway, the main plot is about Chris and Susie, two teenagers that discover...
And Rousey. Why are we forgetting Rousey? Hello?
What might this remind us of? The darkness keeps growing, the shadows cutting deeper, photon readings negative. This closet is emitting darkness, as if it had the same properties as light. I think photon readings would have to be negative in order to do that. The version is labeled 6.6.6.
Wow.
I don't know why Gaster is Satan. Just go with it. Wait. Theory. Gaster fell into the core, and Deltarune is about an angel.
Did I fucking forget to read this in the game? I could probably just go back in one of my videos and check. I don't remember banishing the Angel's Heaven to be the main goal. I thought we just wanted to seal all the fountains. What the fuck is the Angel's Heaven? I feel like I'm losing my mind. Gaster's taking over my brain cells. I don't know what's happening.
If you fight him, he foreshadows Chapter 2's queen. Jevil is off. He's too giggly for comfort, doesn't always use the correct words or grammar, is absolutely obsessed with chaos, and seems to be aware that he's in a game. Also, I love him and he'll never know that.
I didn't know he was aware that he was in a game. I thought he said just he wanted to play a game because he's literally mentally insane. I don't know.
you beat him, you can go to plush toy cat shopkeeper Sham, who has officially ruined how I read the word seam, then we'll explain Jevil's deal. He met someone strange, someone who no one really knows who it was. After that, Jevil went fucking coconuts and
no way, this is not actual dialogue, stop gaslighting me.
Started babbling about how everything was just a game. Nothing here.
I don't think I got this dialogue also, but maybe I didn't go back and talk to Sean.
There's damning evidence until Sham says that because of this, their view of this world has grown darker yet darker.
Ooh.
What an oddly specific way of phrasing that, Sham. When Chapter 2 came around, the mystery narrator that we were presuming is Gaster returned to Twitter. No telling quotes here, but I want.
You know what? Gaster's probably fucking evil if he uses Twitter. Can we talk about that? If God uses Twitter, we're fucked. I don't know how else to say this.
After you beat Spamton Neo, the personifications of internet advertisements, the Addisons, all go to the garbage dump where Spamton has been living, and when talking to them one by one, Spamton's sad backstory is revealed. He was an Addison like them. He still is, really. He has the same permanent smile, the same
Wow, that looks so obvious looking at them side by side. I didn't know that at all.
He was very unlucky and never got attention until he suddenly started spending all of his time on the phone with someone.
With Tenna, no?
No one knows who it was.
He scammed Tenna.
Suddenly, Spamton was awfully popular to the point where all the other Addisons stopped hanging out with him because they felt unneeded. I'd like to point out that this game made me feel bad for ads. Jesus Christ.
Never feel bad for ads.
He went to check on Spamton after Spamton got evicted from Queen's Mansion. They didn't find Spamton, but found his phone with a receiver off the hook. When the Edison tried to see who Spamton had been talking to, they said they heard nothing but garbage noise. What makes that relevant is that if you try to use Chris's cell phone in the dark world, it plays the exact sound that plays in Entry 17, a sound effect that isn't used at all anywhere else in the game in this state.
I'm pretty sure I tried calling someone in the dark world, and I was just like, why is it so loud and weird? Okay. Yeah, I hated this noise.
It's pretty much accepted that Jevil and Spamton were driven mad by the same mysterious force, but for a long time it wasn't terribly clear who that was. Many people were convinced it was Gaster, as he's the most vague, ominous, unnamed presence we have. He can tell them the true nature of the world they live in, because he more than anyone seems to be aware of how much of a video game this is. But many thought it was the Knight, also mysterious and vague. No one knew what the Knight's deal was, so it seemed reasonable to assume. Some people even thought they were the same person, that Gaster is the Knight.
That'd be crazy.
The end of Chapter 2 gave us a very compelling candidate for the Knight, so Knight Gaster may be less likely now.
Yeah,
but
with Chris isn't the Knight
garbage
either.
Noise point, that cannot be a coincidence. Toby Fox is the writer. He's really good with sound. He approves everything that goes into the game. He knew what this was going to be implying.
Oh, for sure.
So that is the undeniable, surreal breadcrumb trail of W.D. Gaster.
That's so interesting.
I want to go over some things that could be damning evidence.
And the craziest part about that, too, is that only covers Chapter 1 and 2 in Deltarune, right? Fans have probably found so much more shit in Chapter 3, 4, and 5 for Gaster. Chapter 3 is where he actually starts talking to us again, right? In the Roaring Night fight, when you fail it, and he's like, you want to try again?
One thing is Gaster's theme. Undertale and Deltarune are known to reuse tunes, usually for very relevant reasons, like when characters have connections.
Love this song. Also love this song. I also love this one too. I don't know if Toby's the one who does all the music. I'm assuming Toby is the one who does all the music. Absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely fire. I don't know how he does it, but it's just every single time it's a banger. Oh wow, it is really all just the same, huh? Dude, Jesus Christ. I am half deaf. Am I more deaf than I thought I was? Wow, I didn't realize it was so similar across everything. Holy. Jesus Christ. I do think it's amazing, though, how he simply, like, listening to all of this back to back, obviously you're like, oh, they all sound like somewhat the same, with different tones, different notes. Again, listening to all of them separately, like, in the game, I liked each one separately, and also did not hit the realization that they had the same, like, sort of overall melody. I think that's a talent from Toby himself, bro. That's some genius right there. Oh my god, even in the duck screen? That's crazy. Oh god, dude. It's in so many places. Oh, fuck me. Oh my god, it is the same everywhere. Oh my god, I'm so deaf.
Some instances of what sounds like Gaster's theme might actually not be it, but rather because there's a simple melody that might share 2 notes with Gaster's theme.
Honestly, I think Toby just got fucking lazy. Toby's a one-man squad most of the time, sometimes. He's doing all the music. I mean, brother, copy-paste that shit sometimes. Switch up the tones a little bit. You got a banger. It is what it is.
Gaster's theme does, however, play very clearly in the background melody for Card Castle. I will not let that go. That is what's playing.
Yeah, okay. I'm hearing it like more and more now.
And it
Kinda
has
scary.
to be playing at that song in the very beginning where the guy who sounds like he's Gaster is speaking to us. It's just missing a note in the middle. There's a very popular assumption that Dr. Gaster is Sans and Papyrus's father. This headcanon is not at all unfounded, even if there is no real implication of it in even the most buried of information. The reason people think this is—
Wait, then who's the mother? I'm sorry, do we ever think about these things? If he's their father, who's the mother? Who birthed out Sans, who is literally god of time and space? How does that work?
There's also the fact that it's rare to see multiple types of the same prominently featured monsters that aren't related or somehow connected. Every boss monster is related. Toriel and Asgore were married and Azrael is their son. Outside of them, there are no other goats.
True,
Nabstablook,
okay,
Metadummy,
fair.
the Ruins Dummy, and Metaton are the only ghosts and are all said to be cousins. It's
Oh.
a very sense-making—
I didn't know Metaton was a ghost. Was Metaton not like robot AI? I completely forgot.
There's a song found in the files of the Undertale demo called Grandpa Semi, likely referring to semi-serif font. Grandpa Semi seems to be a genuinely scrap character rather than a fake scrap character like Gaster. More proof of this is that if you mess with the concept art and notes Toby posted to his Twitter, you can see the writing on the back bleeding through.
Jesus Christ, guys. This is crazy. To look at his notes that he posted, change the contrast, and look at the actual what's bleeding through it and try to read it backwards? What is wrong with you people? What's going on? Oh wait, no, it's not backwards. This is forwards. I'm stupid, sorry.
And Grandpa Semi is clearly written. This was a character at some point early on. It is also possible that this character might have morphed into Gaster over the course of development. So Gaster might be their grandfather.
WD instead of Wingdings stands for will move dad. I have no idea, dude.
On the notes for Papyrus, it says, has a brother named Comic Sans and a blank named Blank. I had the thought that maybe this was blacked out because it's early info that didn't go anywhere and he doesn't want to confuse anyone with thrown out concept art. But then why didn't he black out the whole thing? Why leave the end A and named very
true.
clearly in there? Toby knew exactly what he was doing.
Toby's a
when he posted
genius.
This.
Incredibly well-made video. They matched too much for it to just be a coincidence, you know what I mean? So I'm assuming it is Gaster, who is in Deltarune talking to us. He is the god, and he's leading us down some sort of path. I mean, he's just monitoring it like an experiment. But at the same time, he's also interfering in the experiment. If he called Jevil and Spamton and made them both insane, so he's meddling in it himself, but at the same time, he wants to watch where it goes? I don't know. I don't know what to think of that. But it's interesting to think of him as a god in this universe and a doctor in Undertale universe that died horrifically. How am I supposed to know any of this? Like, listen, I love lore as much as the next guy. Maybe not if the next guy is a diehard Undertale fan, but the next normie, the next casual fan, you know? But this is leagues beyond what I could ever decipher or find out, bro. My lord. Shout out to Misty. This video is fire. For 4 years ago as well. I mean, this is still a really good video. I think my only prediction right now is that chapter 6 will be something more involved with the Gaster. Like something more important is going to happen there. Because he's talking to the soul. So he's talking to the player, us, right? Like he's talking about a vessel and the soul. But even throughout all of that, he's like, your name is Chris. He put us in Chris for this experiment, right? I don't know if he did it forcefully though, or if he just like did it out of a whim. I don't know. I mean, God can do whatever, right? They're God. Let me know if there's any other good videos out there for Undertale or Deltarune for me to watch, and I might watch them, I might not, we'll see. Go check out Missy's channel, subscribe to her, and that's all for me. Peace!